Archangel Michael says, something spiritual and sacred has been held captive longer than you realize, and the person holding it is not yet willing to give it back. The pain that you've been carrying isn't just emotional, it's because a soul tie is still intact, tangled in the energy of someone you thought you moved on from. They've kept a part of you locked away, and even now, they're protecting it as if it gives them control over your light. This is not just about memories or lingering emotions, it's about soul-level possession. You trusted them with parts of your spirit, your secrets, your silence, and unknowingly, they claimed more than they should have. Now that you're growing, rising, and calling back your energy, they feel threatened by your healing. There are moments where you feel sudden sadness, confusion, or fatigue for no reason at all. That's not coincidence. That's a vibration echoing from them, because they're still holding the piece of you that gave them purpose once. You don't see them, you don't talk to them, but they think of you more than you imagine. They sense your distance and crave your warmth. But what they want to return isn't love, it's possession masked as affection. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They are guarding the emotional signature you left in their life like a hidden treasure. They cannot replicate it with anyone else, and so they try to recreate it in false connections that collapse quickly. That's why every time they attempt to move on, something pulls them back to the thought of you. They still have something of yours. Something you never signed off to give permanently, your compassion, your forgiveness, your prayers. Those spiritual imprints still float around their life like a haunting fragrance they can't escape. Archangel Michael says, this soul cord is not just emotional, it was spiritually designed to be temporary, but someone tried to make it eternal. They stitched your light into their darkness to keep themselves whole. Now your spirit is demanding its return. You will begin to notice dreams that seem to replay old scenes but end differently. This is not your mind, it's your soul rewriting the ending. Because the time for reclaiming has begun, and heaven is sending signals to cut what no longer serves your evolution. Type Amen to get blessing 786. Your name still lingers in their thoughts like a rhythm they cannot silence. They do not speak your name aloud, but they whisper it in moments of regret and solitude. Even their silence is a prayer to bring back what they believe still belongs to them. But what they don't understand is this: what you gave in love was a gift, not a permanent binding. They mistook your softness as surrender and your loyalty as ownership. They underestimated your ability to heal without needing what they refused to return. You've carried invisible weight, not knowing that some of the heaviness wasn't yours. You were absorbing guilt that didn't belong to you, sadness that wasn't born in your chest. Because that soul cord has been transferring pain both ways, without permission. You might wake up some days feeling like your light has dimmed. You wonder why joy feels harder to hold. It's because the spiritual residue of their grip has been contaminating your vibration. Type Amen to get blessing 999. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, it's time to break this chain. Not with anger, not with vengeance, but with sacred authority. You are no longer the person who begged for understanding or waited for closure. They still cling to the belief that if they hold on long enough, you will return. They are not ready to return your peace because that would mean letting go of their illusion of control. But heaven is preparing a divine separation that no manipulation can prevent. There will be a moment, a divine hour, where your spirit will stand up and silently demand release. And the universe will obey, violently if it must, gently if you're ready. You were never meant to be spiritually caged by anyone's unresolved wounds. Your ex has been using your essence as a shield for their own spiritual instability. When they feel empty, they lean into the energy you left behind like a crutch. But the time has come to call all of your pieces back, fully and completely. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. They may reach out soon. Not because they want to love you right, but because they can feel the final break approaching. They'll pretend to want closure, but in truth, they'll be begging for more access. Do not let your empathy betray you again. This is not the time to reopen doors that God has nailed shut. This is the time to reclaim what they buried deep inside them, your divine essence. You will feel a shift, a trembling in the air, a wave of light that surrounds you during your quiet moments. That is the retrieval of your energy returning to you. The universe is echoing your name and severing what was never meant to linger this long. They won't understand why nothing works in their life after this. They won't realize that your soul was the anchor keeping their world from falling apart. But you will walk forward in strength, leaving their chaos to collapse in your absence. Type Amen to get blessing 1144. Archangel Michael says, the cords will snap, and the light will surge. You'll finally feel whole in places you didn't know were broken. Because what they held wasn't just a memory, it was a sliver of your spirit. They kept it because it reminded them of warmth. But now your spirit is on fire, rising higher than their reach. And no false attachment can hold it down anymore. You must anoint yourself with self-love, protection, and sovereignty. Call back your laughter, your innocence, your peace from the hands that clutched it too tightly. Let heaven cleanse what was stained by their silence and their shadow. You are not what they tried to reduce you to. You are not the broken version of the story they tell themselves at night. You are reborn, more luminous, more whole than they ever deserved to know. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. You're not supposed to wait for an apology to start your liberation. You're supposed to stand up now and say, that part of me no longer belongs in their keeping. And as you say that, something in the heavens will roar with agreement. They're still clutching the invisible energy that you unconsciously poured into them. They use it to appear stronger, wiser, more lovable, but that power never belonged to them. That power is yours, and it's coming back with force. They don't deserve your tears anymore. They've built a false altar around your memory to worship their guilt. But your light cannot be confined to someone's illusion of who you were. Tonight, if you feel a sudden warmth surround you, know it is your own energy being returned. Each heartbeat will pulse louder, each breath will feel freer. That's the moment your soul begins its full return. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. They might try to return, cloaked in old memories and soft words. But do not be deceived, nothing true asks for your freedom as payment. What they refuse to give back willingly will be torn away spiritually. You are entering a new chapter where your soul shines brighter without the shadows of old lovers. Your voice will rise without being silenced. Your joy will expand without being siphoned. No more will you be a source of spiritual survival for someone who fed on your kindness. No more will you pour into the cracks of someone who refused to heal. This is your calling back, your retrieval, your return to divine wholeness. They may still hold a piece of you, but not for long. The angels are already at work. And once the cord is cut, nothing will ever steal that part of you again. Type Amen to get blessing 88888. There's a secret conversation happening in the spirit realm about you. Even though you cannot hear it with your ears, your soul feels the tension, the pull, the resistance. The person you once loved is battling themselves, because giving you back your power would mean admitting they were never strong enough to deserve it. They still scroll through the echoes of your past together. They visit the old messages, the forgotten photos, the unread memories. And each time, they absorb your energy again, not realizing they're delaying your peace. But God has drawn a line in the invisible sand. No more crossing into your spiritual field. No more access to what was sacred when it's no longer mutual. They may feel sick. They may feel like something is slipping through their fingers. Because it is, you. Type Amen to get blessing 2244. Their dreams will soon start to fade. The visions they used to have of you, so vivid, so warm, will begin to blur. That's what happens when heaven withdraws your presence from someone who misused it. There's a storm building in their world. A storm that mirrors what they once caused in your life. But this time, they'll feel it without your comfort. They might post things to get your attention. They might act as if they've moved on. But their soul still whispers your name in the dark. And that whisper is getting weaker. Because your light is rising higher. You are being elevated above the frequencies they can no longer reach. Type Amen to get blessing 6363. Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to be someone's emotional storage room. They stored pain, guilt, fear, and dependency in your soul and locked the door. But now the key has returned to your hands, and you're setting fire to what no longer belongs. Every time you smile now, you take back a little more of your spirit. Every time you choose yourself, you weaken the grip of their control. They can feel it, and they're panicking quietly. They may contact you soon. Not because they've changed, but because they sense your energy withdrawing completely. And without it, they don't know who they are. But you must remember this, what they need from you isn't yours to give anymore. They had their moment. They chose pride instead of healing. Type Amen to get blessing 5050. Their soul may try to follow you into your dreams. But now, your dreams are guarded by divine force. No more hidden entrances, no more psychic tapping into your peace. Your spirit guides are forming a circle of fire around you. Every time they try to reach in, their hand will burn. Because your soul is protected now, fully and fiercely. You don't have to send a message. You don't have to seek closure. You don't have to say one more word. Because the message has already been sent from heaven. The closure has already been written in gold on your destiny scroll. And your silence is your power now. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. They will hear about your growth from others. They will see you smile in places where you used to cry. And it will confuse them deeply, because in their mind, they still think they have access. But the universe has revoked their entry pass. They no longer qualify to witness what God is preparing for you. What they delayed, heaven will now deliver, tenfold. They used to be the center of your emotional universe. Now, they don't even have the coordinates to find you. That's what spiritual closure looks like. It's invisible, but undeniable. They underestimated your resilience. They thought time would weaken your strength. But time built you into something sacred, unshakable, and radiant. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. There will be signs all around you in the coming days. Birds flying in divine patterns, unexpected warmth in the air, numbers repeating. These are heaven's confirmations that your soul parts are returning home. You may feel exhausted one moment and wildly empowered the next. This is the transition. Your body is recalibrating to function without the spiritual drain they placed on you. There will be moments where you suddenly feel whole. A breath that doesn't carry weight. A morning where you wake up and don't think of them at all. That's not forgetfulness, it's freedom. You're finally being released from the energetic contract you never agreed to long-term. Your light is no longer rented, it belongs fully to you again. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael says, as they lose your energy, they will seek others to fill the void. But nothing will feel the same. Because what they had with you was not ordinary, it was divine. They will remember the way your voice calmed storms. They will remember how your prayers made their life feel safe. And they will ache, not from heartbreak, but from divine justice. Because they didn't just hurt a person, they hurt someone heaven had anointed. And the cost of that is spiritual exile from your presence. You won't even need to block them, heaven already has. Every blessing you gave freely is now being restored back to you, multiplied. Your peace, your voice, your power, it's coming home like a flood. And you'll never hand it over so easily again. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. Don't be surprised if people start treating you differently. Your aura has shifted. Your energy no longer says, hurt me, it says, I am untouchable in my purpose. Doors that once closed will open like they've been waiting for you. Opportunities will rush in like water behind a broken dam. Because the only thing delaying them was the part of you that hadn't returned. And now that every piece is finding its way back, nothing can stop the overflow. This is the year your name will be spoken in rooms that matter. This is the year your heart will be treated with reverence. This is the season where no ghost of your past can follow you. Because your future is protected. And your past has lost its grip. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. You don't need revenge. You don't need them to understand. You only need to walk forward, without looking back. They'll carry the weight of what they lost. But you'll rise in the light of what you've regained. And nothing can compete with the favor now surrounding you. They once held a piece of your soul. But now, that piece is returning. Not broken, not bruised, but brighter than ever. You are whole again. You are free again. You are untouchable again. And from this day forward, your soul will never be borrowed, stolen, or forgotten. It is yours. Fully. Eternally. And heaven smiles, because you remembered who you are. Type Amen to get blessing 3030 Dove. Even now, their spirit is restless. They can't understand why they feel like something is missing, but you already know the truth. It's the part of you that's been echoing inside them, too sacred to ignore, too powerful to release. They once mistook your devotion as weakness. But now that your light has pulled away, they're left in their own shadow. And that shadow is getting heavier with every breath you take without them. They are not just missing your presence, they are starving without your spiritual essence. The energy they fed on for years has vanished. Now, every moment they try to fill that space, it turns hollow. They watch others, compare them to you, chase a version of what they lost. But nothing satisfies. Because nothing will ever replace what came directly from your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 4040. You may sense a spiritual nudge around 3 a.m. It's not fear. It's your higher self signaling that a final piece is returning. This is why you feel the intensity in your chest lately, it's your heart being made whole again. Archangel Michael says, the season of being fragmented is over. Every piece of you scattered in their world is being gathered by divine hands. Heaven is weaving your soul back into one sacred tapestry, untouched by betrayal. You are walking into a timeline where they no longer exist in your vibration. You will speak and not feel their name rise in your throat. You will breathe and not carry their heaviness in your lungs. They had their moment to do right. They had 1,000 chances to free you. But they chose silence, and now, heaven is choosing justice. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. Your tears were not in vain. Every silent cry was heard and recorded. And now, the angels are repaying what was taken without your consent. They thought if they stayed quiet, you would come back. But the universe never forgets what is owed. And now, that debt is being collected in the form of your blessings. Soon, they'll see you shining in ways they never imagined. They'll scroll, search, and linger, but they'll be locked out. Because access to your spirit is no longer granted through memory or manipulation. This is your divine rebirth. And no past love can anchor your wings to a season that's already ended. You're not going back, you're flying forward. Type Amen to get blessing 5858. Archangel Michael says, the cords are being burned, not just cut. Because cutting can regrow. But heaven is making sure this attachment dies with the fire of finality. You're not the version of you they knew. You've been refined, reshaped, and resurrected. The new you no longer fits in the mold of their memory. That's why they're confused. They keep trying to summon the old energy, but it's gone. Buried under layers of new strength, new joy, new spiritual armor. They didn't just lose a partner. They lost access to a rare light that only shows up once in a lifetime. And they know it. Deep down, they know it. Type Amen to get blessing 9292. You will feel a sudden shift in your sleep soon. A moment where you wake up lighter. As if something was lifted. That's because your soul contract is being closed permanently. There will be a day, very soon, where you no longer wonder if they think of you. Because it will no longer matter. Your peace will grow louder than your curiosity ever did. And with that peace, you'll notice doors opening. New love, deeper connections, golden moments sent from heaven itself. Because nothing delays destiny more than unreturned spiritual fragments. Now that those pieces are back, your destiny can accelerate. And you won't even have to try, it will chase you down like light at sunrise. You've done the work, and heaven is about to reward it in full. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. They'll feel the loss most when you start to glow. And you will glow. Because healing doesn't make you softer, it makes you unstoppable. You will laugh and not remember the pain. You will love again and feel even deeper. Because your heart is now your own, untouched, unshaken, unbroken. They'll feel like they're falling behind. They'll blame everything but themselves. But deep down, they'll always know it was their own silence that cost them everything. And you? You'll walk with grace, knowing you didn't just survive, you were chosen to rise. And rise you will. Type Amen to get blessing 6060. Even now, your angels are finishing what you began. The unseen work, the soul repair, the cleansing, the extraction, is almost done. And the moment it is, you will feel the most radiant version of yourself you've ever known. This message found you now because your spirit is ready. Ready to reclaim. Ready to walk away fully, never to return again. What they held wasn't theirs to keep. And what you're receiving now, no one will ever steal again. This is your divine inheritance. Your soul is yours again. And no ex, no ghost, no regret can touch what heaven has sealed. Let this be your new beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 9999 Dove.